wrong scenario. So what I did earlier is I corrected a few things on. There we go. I just corrected the classes. I remember we had some difficulty as we were looking. So I've corrected the classes on several of the Japanese. So this should be a little bit easier to go through. Also added the classes to the Russian ships as well. I think in most of these cases I did. Why is that not? I don't know why I had updated it. Okay. Does anybody remember the class of the Odorenyi?
Which one, sorry?
Odorenyi?
Okay, hang on. Odorenyi.
Yeah, it is the... I think it's
the Cashin.
It is the Cashin.
Yes.
And I swear I updated this. I must not have hit save. Okay, so the Nushka Kashin. Odorenyi is the Kashin. The Dmitry Pozharsky is...
Isn't that a Shvedov, or am I mistaken? Might be Shvedov.
Hold on, let's go look.
Have a look, yeah. Yeah, Dmitry Pozharsky, yes, that's Shvedov, yep.
Sverdlov, he's a big sucker.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, there's back in '56 when Khrushchev visited the UK, he came along in a Shvedov, and the British wanted to have a look at it. So they've got this diver guy to try and go down. It's not the story. What happened isn't clear. But he turned up a few days later with no head.
Yes, I remember reading about that.
Hello again.
Is this a Kara?
Hi, Xavier.
Can you guys hear me all right?
Yeah. Is the
Yes.
Petropavlovsk a Kara? Is that right?
I think that's a Kara, yeah.
And this is what we were missing last time, and it was a pain in the butt that we didn't have it on there. Kara, Khan, and then this is Nushka. Okay, just so that when we're going back and forth, we can. Okay, so I think we're good now. Okay, so just for bringing everybody back up to speed, the Azushio is here. It had been visually identified by both sides.
Shouldn't that be labelled as a submarine rather than a surface ship? Because it's labelled as a surface ship. It should be submarine, shouldn't it?
I think by perception we would know the class.
So show type's incorrect. So yeah.
Yeah. Where is it?
Yeah, you may have added it as a surface ship rather than a submarine.
I never noticed it wasn't there. There's a choice here.
Yeah, it's down as a surface unit. It should be a subsurface unit, shouldn't it?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's not on the option. You may need to re-add it or something. Or
Yeah, you're right.
no, it's not. It's not a massive, not an insurmountable
Yeah.
problem. It's just you rate it as it's down as a. Should be blue.
I suppose it's wallowing along, so it's basically both, isn't it? So
That was the case. That was the case with most historical submarines. It wasn't. Yeah.
Is that the right spelling? What is its class? It is an Azushio class, is that right?
Let me have a look. See.
Azushio. Yeah, I think that's right.
yeah, it is.
Oh, Are you kidding me? Okay, good. That was that delete delete thing I noticed. Alright, so then it is a nuclear or diesel? It's diesel,
No,
right?
it's diesel.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
diesel.
they made what 7 of them in total. So this is the lead ship of the class.
Okay, so I think we're good now. This is, as far as perception, it is visible to red. I think we don't know the depth necessarily. Well, we kind of know the depth. It's sitting at like half periscope. Alright. So that, interestingly enough, that you see that perception stayed. It must have been when I originally did it. I can't remember who just called that out, but it must have been when I originally had it. I had it as a surface ship because we didn't want you to know, right? At the beginning of the scenario, at least.
Yeah, fair enough.
Alright, so let's just take a look at things from each side's perspective before we start. Let's see. Alright. I think technically at this point you would know that this is enemy. And you would know it was a helo of this type. Right, I think that's more accurate, right?
Yeah, it's got a quite big red star on it, so it's
And you know it's general. You were flying by each other, showing each other finger expletives anyway, so I'm pretty sure you know who each other are. All right, so
I don't know any Japanese expletives, but yeah.
I'm pretty sure the signs are universal.
They're universal.
Right.
Yeah.
Not always. No.
No. Right. Tell
Angry,
that.
Some of them aren't.
I think the angry shaking and waving is.
Tell that to Winston Churchill, right? And President Bush, right? Didn't he do that? Or the younger, with the Australian hello. All right, so this is what we see now. Please correct me if I'm wrong. So I think let's put the sensors back on. Why are we not seeing the sensors on there? Oh. Well, that's interesting. So these sensors, I think, were originally the osmonog of the helix. So so that's just something to call out, is that if we show it as blue, you don't see the sensors on that red one. Okay, whatever. Alright, so this gives you an idea of the range. And let's see, what is this for small and V small? And I'm assuming all these are small. None of these are V small, correct?
It'd be in the sit-back, wouldn't it?
Yeah, they're all small.
Alright, so they definitely have all of you.
Yep.
And I think we denoted that as such.
And the middle helo had detected the top right Soviet unit, hadn't it? I think visually.
You are correct, but I don't think they still have it. Yes, this had. I can't remember which, but you have a pretty
I
darn
thought it was
good.
top right.
This one right here, I thought.
Yeah, I thought so. Yeah. But,
I think he had come all the way up about here, but.
That's it, and then
So
retired. Yep.
So the assumption is you know that it's general speed and you knew its general direction, so you know it's kind of like this task group is probably making its way this way. All right. So do you all want to break out at all and talk? I don't know how much you need to necessarily, but how many people do we have on each side here? So we have Ken and Gron on blue. I can't remember which side everybody was on.
Yep. I think Ken and Grawn are going to take control.
Yeah.
Hold on a sec.
Yep.
Then which who?
Hope so.
Who do we have for red? I can't remember who was red. Let me go look here real quick.
Hang on. Simon and Steven, weren't we, Ken and Garnet, weren't we all blue?
I think you are all blue, so I guess I'm red. Yeah, Tom couldn't make it today. Yeah, that's fine. That actually makes it a little cleaner. So y'all can talk as much as you want then. So then let's put the blinder back on then. You don't know a hell of a lot, right? You do know that there's a task group here. I don't think, because of the island, I don't think you saw the other task groups. You don't necessarily know this, but you do know that you had missiles inbound from that direction, right?
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
So you definitely know there's something here and it's angry. We had ruled that I can't remember if it was going to be the Nunishka or not. I think it was. That's the only missile carrying vessel over here, right? What we were trying to do is determine whether or not the P-120s could be fired from this Nanuchka Grad. And none of these other ones have any larger. Let's go take a look at. Do you see my whole screen?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's take a look at Red's SS capabilities, and hopefully all this is accurate. Yeah, the cruiser, the Sverdlov class, not great. They do have I don't know what's going on here. Might need to relook at that one. Now the Kara does have a pretty powerful. The Kara class has a pretty powerful air. But as far as I knew in their planning, they did not go active. And I think, even if I'm not mistaken, I think they did not a bearing only, but a radioed pour attempt with their salvos.
Yeah, got really lucky on that.
Yes. Okay, so let me think here. I can't remember. Did we fired 4 individual missiles or 4 double missiles? Do you recall?
There were I think it was 4 doubles. I think.
I'm pretty sure they shot everything from. Or were they going to do 4 from each?
I don't know. I don't remember now.
I was Yamagumo, wasn't I? So yeah, I didn't have anything I could fire long distance.
I just don't remember there being 8. Yeah, there might have been. I don't remember there being 8 individual missiles. I seem to remember there was going to be 4 and 4. We might be able to look at it through the replay. Let me make a save. As the latest, with me not messing with it, right? Alright, so that's me saving latest unmessing. So let's go back and these were individual, but I don't know if I did it wrong. I did these as individual, but I can't remember. And I think we had a lot of issues with having a bunch of the missiles right on top of each other on the units.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't remember. So my main point is, does he have any missiles left? And I could have sworn we might have done 4 and 4. Does that sound right? Like 4 and 4, like 4 here and 4 there.
Yeah, I think I seem to remember it was 8 missiles, but I don't really remember.
Okay.
I think like one salvo went off, and then the other one salvo just kind of went off, and then the other but still fired, and then the other came back.
Yeah, As far as I remember, they shot 3 missiles each, I guess.
Yeah,
For one servo, yeah.
Let's go look at how many they had.
They have four for each Nanchuk grass, and
Yeah.
I guess the last time like they fired 3 missiles each.
So yeah, they have 6 total, right? You're right. So two mounts with 3 missiles each. You are correct.
Oh, okay.
You are correct. So that was probably 3 and 3 then, right?
Mhm.
The question being is, would Red turn on their active radar? And they probably wouldn't at that point, because they've already shot everything. They've already shot everything they could. All right.
Well, but they might suspect inbounds, but yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So the point, 1 point. That's a very good point, and let's agree upon it or not. I would think at some point here, one of these would turn on air search.
Yeah, from previous experience, you need to have something with air search on because after you've popped
Yes.
the thing, because otherwise you don't, especially with harpoons, because
So let's
they're
look.
sea skimmers until they point up, and if they pop up, what's it, the sea skim capability until they pop over the horizon and do they can be so stealth or small profile when they're cross
Right.
section. You may be able not be able to actually react in time to them. They turn up. It's
Correct. So
something
Yeah.
go ahead.
something the British learn the hard way with exocets, and
Exactly.
There's nobody from Red on.
Nobody's on. I don't think Mike
No.
was able to show up, and then Tom wasn't able to show up. I don't see Dan
I,
or
I
Cook.
would suggest it's a good idea that they do. They've already got good sensors from their helo,
Right,
so they
but
know where we are.
Right,
But for defence, for personal defence, I think it's probably a good call.
right, and the fact that they just fired off, they're
Yeah.
probably going to be fired back at sooner than later. Okay, so let's look at those. So the patrol boat, the Nanushkas, don't have very good anything as far as air. All right, so
eggshells with sledgehammers.
I think probably the best bet was the Kara. Really, right? This Voshkod MR600 seems to be the best. Does anybody disagree on that?
No, that sounds about right.
Alright, and then they have a LAS here. And they have a backup 3D. That's actually a very good air unit, or anti-air. I'm assuming that's what its original configuration was for. Alright, so where is she? Okay, so she's gonna go active with this 243. And what do we probably need? How big are the? Alright, no, it's okay. We'll just do the whole thing. Alright. And yes, we should have pre-built these in, and I think we had planned on doing that, but we didn't. Alright, we're just lazy. I'm sorry. Alright, so this is versus large, right?
What would be useful for Simplot 2.2, whatever, would be a feature of some ability to have predefined units, or something, or a pack for them, something you can get from Admiralty Trilogy or something.
Well, right. I mean, Kevin had mentioned. I mean, he's obviously making his own thing, but we kind of need to be careful not to just give everybody all the information if they don't have the annexes and so forth, right?
Of course, yeah. Just yeah, something we obviously need to make it. Yeah.
Yeah. I kind of wish we had a method of giving files to people we know have, just.
Yeah, maybe make it a purchasable thing for
That's a great idea. that's not a bad idea at all. Yeah, and then I would pay for it. if
Yeah,
somebody
I would.
if somebody went through and did one of these for every ship available, yeah, I'd pay for that.
Christ, you'd play for Simplot anyway, wouldn't you?
Well, right.
could.
That maybe that could be the monetized
Yeah.
aspect of it. Yeah, if somebody went through the fact, because it does take a little bit of time to do all this.
I'll bet.
So 243, 170, 122, 170, 122 was the next one. 49. And then we might not need all these, but let's just go ahead and put them in there. Lush God is 14 point. Right, we don't have any stealthy units anyway, so I don't think we care.
The submarine is stealthy.
But this is an air. This is a 3D.
Yeah.
So.
They don't apply.
Okay.
Kara's classed as a large anti-submarine ship, but it's obviously got good radar.
Did I do this right?
Just the car, yeah, the car. Well, the car. I think the Carver does have a decent what's it SAM system, I think.
Yeah,
Just vet that a little bit. 243, 170, 120.
shorter range SAN4s.
Okay, and then we also have to.
Which are, yeah, the SM4s are fairly, reasonably decent. Yeah.
So what are we going against? First of all, air. The only blue air right now are these are all mediums. These Sea Kings are. Did I get that right? Sea Kings. They're all.
The Sea Kings, yes, HSS2s. I thought they were all at.
They're large. Did we get that corrected? I think Tom actually contacted Chris on this one.
Mm-hmm.
And thought
so.
it was more of a medium, but I'll look at that before we judge it. But so technically, as far as red, they're looking to do this. Let's go ahead and do it, and let's turn off the other one. So again, the range is tremendous,
Yeah.
right? So, but this is interesting. This is an interesting graphic, right? Because this shows you the Matsukaze's range, and then here's the Soviet range with that. That's a really powerful air search radar, especially for a 3D. Is that right? For a 3D for that? Let's go. Is that a common? Let's go look at this real quick. I don't mean to. Let's go double check that. Center is this one. Is this in the Russian annex? Yeah. Wow. That's quite powerful for 1967.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Power to the peak. Power.
There's more power and there's horse's accuracy. It only really works against large targets that range, and our guys aren't large. Maybe,
sure.
Yeah.
I wish Tom was here because I swear he contacted Chris about that, because that aircraft is definitely large, but it's not. I mean, that's a considerable difference.
At what
right?
height are we though? Because are we not masked a bit by the land? Anyway?
Yeah, sure. Well, you're masked by the land, but you're also potentially masked by just radar horizon too, as well. But maybe not as much. All right.
Is it that radar system is quite widely used as well in the annex? If you have a look, piece of kit.
What the top? What's it?
The MR600.
Well, yeah. But if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah. Oh, they obviously could make some good kit without a shadow of a doubt. But
well, there's they can make some powerful kit, but also had a disadvantage in electronic miniaturization. So it means the stuff was great big and honking.
Yeah, it is called the top sail because it's fucking huge.
All right. So then, what else is still? What is the SPS-29?
Yeah, so it's got the OSA-M missiles are they're trying to their point defense kind of short range stuff, but they are fairly potent close range. The Storms are the
Which
are the
Who has the SPS 29 on AS? Is it one of the Sea Kings?
No, we don't have sensors on the Sea Kings. It's Mark 1 eyeball. Was live.
I don't know if it might be this one.
And I think we went live when the missiles started coming in.
So I'm just trying to figure out where this one's coming from.
I think that's a Matsukaze, is it?
I thought so. I just checked it though. Maybe I didn't check the right one.
What about the next unit along? The
You're right. You're right. It was this one.
yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. So again, though, the medium, it's beyond the map anyway.
Yeah.
It's so now we need to go look at the radar line of sight, right? So of course these guys are. This is a Kara is medium.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Versus everybody, I think, is within.
I'm just posting a schematic of the Kara in the blue chat, and you can see
Oh,
where
wow,
they
yeah.
the top sail.
Wow.
Yeah, that thing is huge.
Give him a propulsion boost as well.
Right. So let's go look at. So the assumption then is that it has a reasonable SAM. And
Yeah,
it does. It has the OSM, but it also has the storms. Let's see. Let's look at those real quick.
You can see the storms are the on the thing. You can see the storms, the big ones at the the front and the back behind the helicopter. It indicates the missile.
Right here.
No,
Yeah. These. Is that? Are those launchers right there?
So the launcher, yes, look, yeah, that's the launchers for the storms, yes, storm launchers. You've got the anti-sub missiles, but a bit further back on the back. And you've got
These are pretty
ones.
pretty fast missiles too for the time as well. OSMs.
Accurate. That's also another thing. Important, a bit bigger.
So the storms are definitely better than. All right, but again, let's keep in mind that they only have like a range of about 18. All right.
I think they're more designed against aircraft than actual missiles.
All right. So you're definitely picking that up for ES. And I'm not even going to add that. Everybody's picking that up, and anybody that has ES here. Do the Sea Kings have ES?
No.
No, they have.
The Sea Kings have nothing.
Wow. They got the
They've
dipping
got a dipping sonar.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe like I just have like this picture of a Sea King. You think it's a wrecking ball.
This one might just go ahead and
Yeah.
this one might go ahead and just drop it to see if it finds its friend.
Yeah.
They're so desperate to use the sonar to something, right? All right, but then speaking of the Helix, doesn't have much either, right? As far as sensor, it has the Osmondog.
Yeah.
The radar itself. Okay, then the dipping sonar and the MAD. Okay, cool. All right, so I think we're good to go for a British plan. Otherwise, so that I mean the Soviets are gonna basically keep their waypoints at this point. I don't see any reason why they would shift, other than what we just planned. Otherwise, so blue plan away.
Hey, Tom.
Hey guys. I just dropped in for a minute, probably. I will mostly listen, and if you say something to me and I don't respond, that means that
That's because you're in a movie. That's because you're in a movie theater with your family right now.
Yeah.
What do you say, Peter? Because
because you're in a movie with your family.
No,
I'm
no,
doing it. I'm doing
I'm,
this on my piss break.
Yeah, we've not
yeah, I'm
got
hiding in toilet.
yeah, we've not got enough of a fix on these to get a to fire back, have we?
I'm sorry.
No,
Repeat.
well, I think no, but I think Ken and Grawn, what's your plan? We took over last time, so we're going to let you get us out of this mess.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's your plan?
So like my plan is maybe the Famos left group.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those are Matsukaze and I don't know the TD is there, but I think those that TG could
Do you want-
be
do you want
going
them?
to that to the more
Yeah,
to the
this way.
right still,
Yeah.
right?
Okay. Yep. That makes sense.
Yeah.
All right.
I also think so. Amatsukaze have to cover the other groups, and if he can, he shoot down Soviet helix.
Oh. Okay. All right.
Yeah,
We know,
that's what
yeah,
I'm thinking too.
yeah, we also
Good
need
call.
to make.
All right.
Yeah,
So let's
and
look at.
we know there's
I think
we know there's a fairly big Soviet unit out there.
Right, but I think we looked at this last time, and it was the Schmear Block 3. And then let's look at the... Here it is, Schmear Block 3. I'm going to pronounce everything with a Russian accent, because that's just the way it is. Alright, let's get a zoom in this just a little bit more.
Yeah, they don't. The SM ones don't particularly have any, and the Americans don't go for sexy names, do they?
No.
Not for their missiles. No.
Right.
Then you get the Russians.
So let me get this straight, and I think we asked this, we kind of questioned this last time. So the Block 2 and the Block 3 have no statistical differences? Is that where we're...
I'm assuming so. Yeah.
That's kind of weird.
Yeah, but what you mean which blocks and which one?
The
Which
Smear 1 MR Block 2 or Block 3, was there just some sort of
Oh yeah,
functional difference?
No, I don't think there's any functional difference. Like it'll probably be something like, I don't know, slightly updated like construction, or like they'll use different materials, or one will be like software upgrade because it doesn't bug out or something.
Yeah, dude, what's going on here?
Yeah, that there might be some changes that would change the maintenance of it, but
Right.
not actually the performance.
Okay. That makes sense. Okay, so then let's take a look at that though. So for so Gron was mentioning or suggesting that we get that ship closer, but in order to do that, they're going to have to get within 20 nautical miles, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in order to do that, are we saying then that we want them to start moving in this direction? This task group? Do we want to cross the beams, cross the streams?
Yeah, I agree with that.
You do feel like we should probably move this task group like this?
Hmm.
Okay, actually, I think
Right.
that might be good overall, because the Russians would be a little bit. You're basically shifting your force in a way, like for example, let's look at it from the red perspective. They obviously know where you're at, and then they're going to start doing this. And then what that also does is it's going to eventually give you a cover of these islands as well. So they won't be able to fire these missiles. You know what? Technically, so like if they go like really as fast as they can like that, they might. You can see how the islands are right here. They might not be able to actually fire on you until they're here. So I think they'll probably be unmasked here, but they don't have a lot. You don't necessarily know this part, but well, this Nanishka does have a punch to it. It hasn't fired any of its missiles. You don't know that.
No.
Um,
Yeah, that is the thing with the what's it the
So in other words, let me put it another way. And again, we have to do this based on what your knowledge is and what your intention is, because what Ken was originally suggestion was that you adjust like this. So if you go like this to get within range of this area, you might be unmasking yourselves here, but you don't. Again, that's 2020 hindsight, though. You don't know that. You
Wait,
do.
so let me confirm that their SSMs, I think they have 6 left,
Hmm.
but they can shoot that beyond the those islands, or
Well,
like
what we had ruled, and this was something that Tom, are you still on? You had gotten information back from Chris, right, about the altitude that the P120 flies
Yeah,
at,
they should be rated as very low
right?
flying,
Right.
which is a skimmer missile. This is apparently the error in the data annexes that they are in process of rectifying now.
Yeah.
The main change that would be, I don't think there would be change in detection and in the engagement. The number of engagements probably doesn't change because of I can remember the name of the radar on Amatsukaze, but it has this low altitude self radar. But the big change will be that the standard that we have, from what I remember, is not the skimmer capable missile. So there will be a negative modifier
Yeah.
to to hit modifier.
Right. Hmm.
yeah. So if they have islands between the target line, direct target lines, they can shoot SSMs. Correct.
I believe that if this task group gets to about this location, and if we,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
if
yeah, yeah.
this, they're going to be able to probably fire on you. And,
Mhm.
and you do know by radio that there is a task group here. You don't necessarily know. I don't remember this got within visual range of just the cruiser or everybody. Did we judge that? In other words, did it see the entire task group and know its
Yeah, so
general
the late,
size?
the late, what's it? The P120 is a low, is low rather than V low. So yeah, so it's not full C skimmer.
Well, what I'm
Yeah.
asking is like this Sea King had come up to about here, if I recall.
I think he only got the left-hand
Yeah,
vessel,
I think
Peter.
I think you're
Yeah.
right. I think you're right. So in other words, I'm just trying to determine what blue
Yeah.
Yeah, but
knows.
it's not. Yeah, it's not in range to be fired on, is
So
it?
I don't
So,
know. So all blue knows is that there is a group. There's a likely group here. There's definitely one, and by the size of it, you would expect probably it has escort, right?
Some escorts. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But you don't
yeah,
necessarily know the missile capability of that. So,
No.
all
No.
right. So
you
I don't
don't.
want to overthink this.
But also, we know like the missiles SSMs come from 2 directions. Those both TGs, right?
No. They came at two. They came roughly from this area.
Yeah.
They did
2
not.
salvos.
Two
Okay.
salvos had come from
So,
this
so you,
patrol.
you can't tell which TG fired that.
Not necessarily. I would think you would know the trajectory, though, right? You would
Yeah.
know that it came like this. These guys definitely are aware that it came from this way,
Mm-hmm.
and then these guys definitely know it came from like this. So I don't think there would be any. I think you would know it. Well, you'd have a pretty high probability of thinking that it came from the same group.
Okay.
I think a pretty high probability of that. If somebody's on a
Yeah.
map at this same granular level, I think they would. If this group was like here, you wouldn't know, right? Like if this group was like back here, then I would say you don't know which one fired. But I think it's safe to say that somebody with a ruler and a map would be able to know that it wasn't. It very likely wasn't this group that fired. All right. So then the question then still becomes between Dan and Gron, which plan to use. Go this.
Yeah, in my opinion, still like Amatsukaze TG should go east.
Yeah. Okay.
Crossing the line. Yeah.
All right. You want to go
Like-
like
Yeah, because like
shallow.
our mission is just to recover.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah, it was a shield,
Alright,
and
so
not
let's-
to destroy all the Soviet battleships.
Let's adjust this then.
Does that mean the middle task group will also conform?
Yeah, I guess.
Okay, that's fine. To join one big group or to still keep as two?
Okay, let me.
What do you think, you guys?
Okay, let's go ahead and plan. Let's plot these. So this is the Nagatsuki. I'm assuming we're gonna keep the. Oop, I didn't mean that. Actually, I think I can. Yeah. All right. So do you just tell me when? Do you want it to go between this shallow, or do you want me to go more like this? I think you shouldn't have any problems here. You would have problems. You would have problems with the depth here, but you shouldn't have problems here. I think your draft is enough to. You want to go like about like that, or more like that. Just say when.
Maybe more distant,
Like
going to
more
east.
like this.
Yeah, like more maybe southeast of Uzushi or something.
Like even like that. Or no,
Not
probably
really
more
like that. Yeah,
Okay.
around that.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to at least keep you off that shallow.
Mm.
Okay, so how about that? That look good?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Almost there, and we can adjust when we more approaching to the Uzushio.
Do you
Uh,
want the you want to stay still pretty close to each other? Is this about right?
it's like, is it about Amatsukazu TC or?
Let's see. This one is the Nuggets. Why am I not? Let me turn this off. This is the Nagatsukis, and then this is the upper one. You want this to be closer? You want this to be a little more like that, probably. Let's put the waypoints on. Yeah, it's about like that. Just say so, and I can adjust this if you want. Does this look good for this task group?
もうちょい北ですかね、カニさん。
そう、いや、こんなもんでいいと思いますよ。I think this is good for us.
Okay, we'll judge. We're gonna judge it in 3-minute increments anyway. So, as a matter of fact, we need to change that. I'm glad I just mentioned that. Okay, so that's that task group. Now we were just talking about these other task groups. Do we feel that they need to adjust, or do we feel that they're okay continuing? I don't think you're going to have any collisions.
I was going to say, we don't want to run into
No,
it.
I'm not going to judge it that way anyway. My judgment is the fact that I hope you can see what's coming at you. Or what time is it? Now, hold on. It is dark. If we were at like 0200 or 0300, I'd probably be a little bit more of a pain in the butt about that. But all right, but I think the sun is coming up. As a matter of fact, what was the schedule for that visibility? Because we do need that. I think it's mentioned
We're up to
here.
full by 7 o'clock, aren't we?
Yes.
Yeah, 100% by 7
so
o'clock.
We're at 70% right now. Just something to keep in mind.
Yeah.
All right. Any changes for blue for these task groups, the other task groups?
I think, Ken, I think Haruna should just carry on. But what about the middle group?
You want them to converge
Yeah,
a little bit closer
maybe
here?
I'm thinking about the merge that TG to Amatsukazu TG. What do you guys think?
They should merge. That's a good idea.
You
Absolutely.
mean merge this here? Oh, that's
Yeah,
a good
so
idea. That's a
like
good
core
idea.
shift TG.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good idea.
So we're going at flank speed anyway, so we can't really go any faster.
Okay, so let's get rid of all these.
Yeah. Form up on a Matsukaze.
So, okay, I don't know if this is gonna. This might take a little shenanigans, but something to that degree, it might not be entirely.
Yeah.
If we have to, we'll adjust something like this nature.
Yep.
Okay. Don't
Don't put
worry,
it on the beach.
I won't let them. Yeah, that's fine. This is fine.
Yep.
Like right there is fine. And no, I'm not going to let them collide into each other either. But we do need to make sure that the knots are correct. So is that the max for those?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think it is, yeah.
Let's double check that both of them are. That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
I'm actually impressed that it remembered. Like, we deleted all of them, if you recall.
Yeah.
I'm actually impressed that it remembered that. Okay, so that's all good. Alright, so I think these are good. And we thought these would continue.
But yeah, they're probably going to get there about a similar time anyway, aren't they? So.
Right. What about the helos? These guys are going to get there quicker. Let's put the leaders on here. So this guy's going to go here pretty quick. This guy's going to come down here like this. This guy's hovering-ish. Any changes? Any changes to this one?
Do you think that lower helo ought to go left a little bit?
Here?
The lowest one, the new helo,
The
NATO
NATO
3.
3.
Perhaps ought to go into the gap where we think that those missiles came from.
So this way.
Just as a bit of a plain guard, yeah.
I think so.
What do you think, Ken? Grawn?
Yeah.
Send this way.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Seriously, how many of blue ships right now have their radars on?
I think only the Amatsuka.
Matsukaze at the moment. Actually, I thought did not
Would
the
it
one.
be- Sorry, second.
No, carry on. I was going to say I thought we turned one on when the missiles all came in, but maybe not.
Yeah. I was just simply gonna wonder whether it's since missiles are coming our way anyway, so they've clearly managed to spot us somehow even with our radars off. Would it be worth it to turn some more radars on
Yeah, I think so.
for the sake of air defense? But
Mhm.
leave it up to you guys.
Well, let's.
Yeah. I didn't like that delay, that was for sure. That was a bit worrying. So yeah, I would say that was a good idea.
And I need to go. My
Alright.
piece break over.
he just finished.
It was fun. Nice to see you.
Yep,
Let's meet again
Catch you
soon.
later.
that was hilarious. And I'm finished. Okay.
No, Xavier, I think that's a good idea. Ken, Grawn, do you agree?
Yes.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Okay, so
Alright,
everybody or just some?
Well, I agree with what? Sorry.
Turning on some more radars.
Yes, definitely. We've been attacked, so we know we've been attacked. We know something else is out there. We suspect there's something else out, and now it's the fact we don't want to get caught.
We need to get something to lock on these harpoons as well, don't we? So
Yeah, we do. Yeah.
I don't even know where that just went. Yeah, these don't play very well with being on top. Give me a second. Okay, there we go. Sorry. Alright, so there's a lot of audio coming through.
Yeah, Simon, I think that's from you.
Alright, the aliens have successfully invaded Simon's house. Alright, okay. But let's take a look at that. Let's think about that. Are you saying across the board, or are you saying just air, or...
I think I would personally turn all of them across the board, but that's just me.
Yeah, so we don't know if there's any surface ships in the vicinity that are also if something's come and fired us, they could be 20 miles away rather than over the horizon. They can as much situation
So did
where
we-
it's possible, even if the sun is rising with our visual.
So both of these do not have surface. I think we questioned that, didn't we?
Does anybody else hear static?
Not
Not me.
anymore.
Yeah, that was Simon.
So let me just kind of guide you here a little bit.
An electric person.
We have a couple of surface search ones.
Right, there's a
OPS
couple of them,
ones,
but we had questioned at one point or another the fact of, so there's a lot of air on them. It's obviously for a reason, but we ruled that, or we kind of looked it up, that or researched it, that they did not have a surface search radar.
Is it really?
Did
I don't
they
know.
did they have an Op 16 or an Op 17? I don't know. But so the Hatsuyuki, does that doesn't, I mean, I don't have a surface search
Yeah,
for it.
like as far it can detect surface contact, I guess.
Hatsuyuki, let's look here again. 18, 1, 14. Yeah, because I don't have it here. I'm going to assume, I think we determined that the Amatsukaze did not have one, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, but then I think the Hatsuyuki does have an OPS 17. Did we determine that? Let's look at that. Hatsuyuki.
What is LAS? That's something I've not seen before in my Harpoon.
That is a low
stuff.
altitude search, low air
Right.
search. Let's see if we can. No, that's definitely not it.
カニさん、OPS18 って
I think OPS 18 is
海水
the
上も行きますよね。
そうです。Yes, yes. Anti-surface radar.
Here it is.
Yeah,
Right
so
here. It has
OPS18,
Mutin.
yeah.
All right. So is that okay? So let's. Oh, so this is both. Is that correct? Maybe it's both. I think a lot of them can be both. Let me see how
Let me
it's
pull the
written.
rule book out.
Yeah, that's true. I guess like they use it both for, lower search and surface search.
Yeah, let's see what they have here. Nope. Oh, it's right there.
Yeah, LAS. I don't think LAS can do surface. Well, they can do. I think it's limited surface detection, but
Right. I don't.
no,
It's
yeah,
not
they don't. No,
listed.
they don't really. They don't really have. They don't really have surface. LAS do velo flight, but they can't really do surface detection. They're not designed for that.
Now I have seen some airborne that can
The
do
airborne
both.
one.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
there's
the airborne
there's
one.
definitely certain radars that can do both air search and surface search. So should we just go ahead and give it at least the stats of an OPS 17 for searching's sake? In other words, should I just at least give it this? I think that's probably not inaccurate. Like if I wish to just say that, at least this is probably.
Yeah, you'd have to have some with surface search radar, I'd imagine
I
too.
think that I would think that it's. We can just label it like this. All right, it's not. This is kind of like splitting hairs here, but I'm gonna go ahead and just rule it that way. Oop. I'm gonna rule it as having the same stats as an OPS 17. It probably has maybe a little bit more limited, but I don't care. Does anybody else disagree with that?
I'm fine with that. Yep.
I feel
Yeah,
like
go
I
for
feel
it.
like it's a second gen ES. Otherwise, when did this go into service, Hatsuki? Okay, yeah, it's a contemporary of those other destroyers. So
82.
first class, it was the first class of first generation of general purpose destroyers. Okay, I don't want to.
Yeah, but it's also got a Link 14 aluminum superstructures and a special damage modifier -15, so don't get hit by anything.
All right, but hold on. Yeah, I don't know if they.
Yeah, apparently no phalanx.
So I don't know if they, as far as Wikipedia is concerned, I don't know if this is actually like the 18-1 and it's just labeled wrong here. Oop, there's a picture of it.
I don't know.
That looks like an air search radar. All right. Oh. There it is right there. You see that? That description has it right there. It's got both.
Anti-water search. Yeah, that's that. Yep.
Oh, cool. All right. Well, we learn something every day. All right. So it is a combined one, right? Oh.
Okay.
Hold on.
Mhm.
Is a two-dimensional radar manufactured? It's installed as an anti-water search radar. So I would think that it's probably both. It's probably low altitude and surface search. All right.
Yeah, it makes more sense.
Yeah, and let's see. Does that match up roughly? Yeah. I mean, I'd almost think it's close enough. You see that? It's close enough. I would think it has roughly the same capability, right? If not, you would think that if it's capable of detecting low altitude something coming at them, it would be detectable roughly the same. So I think this is fine. I mean, worst case scenario, we can use these same stats for both. Okay. Sorry, I don't mean to overkill that one. All right. So everybody's turning everything on. So let's go through this. Let's go through the SS's first. So the Haruna is at 48. I'll put that for now. He's at 48, right? Again, this is versus large. We know we're not totally versus that. We will add them as we need to here. Let's see how. Let's see how big that is. Okay. So at best, you'll see are any of these large?
The carver maybe. Let me have a look. See. The the Shveddor's medium. No, they're all the biggest medium, medium most. The Shveddor's medium. No large ones.
Okay. Why don't we go ahead and just correct that then? So we know. Where was I? I was here. No, we're doing 17. So let's go to 28. So let's correct that for now. Okay, does anybody have a better one? No. No. So the Takatsuki and the Yamagumo classes also have that. Okay. Bugger. Just that one has it. It's gonna take a little bit, not too much, not too long. Is that enough? What is the other class that had it? The Yamagumo. This one. And yes, we should have these pre-filled. you're not going to pick up anything else other than you're picking up these. Well, you might not. You might not yet be picking up these very small fishing boats. These were all very small. You already have a visual on them from the helos anyway, so that's no big deal. You know where all these fishing boats are, and you know their relative positions. All right, so this is an indicator. I think we're ready to go, right? And who had I turned on up here? I had turned on air search. Is that still on? No. Missiles likely would be small, right? And this is for air search since at best we're doing that, and let's put a couple of these on. Alright. So we're definitely going to see any inbound missiles no matter what. I think that's why I turned it off, because it's over companies.
All the Soviet surface-to-air, surface-to-surface missiles are small. Everything else is very small. So yeah, we will definitely see any P-120s coming in.
Well, what I was turning on there was I was turning on the Petropavlovsk's air search in reverse. So I think at best y'all have Harpoon, right? Which is V small. As far as SSMs, I think the Blues only have that. So that's why I was turning that on. All right, so I think we can progress. Alright, let's do it as instant. So the thing to look out for, is there anything else we should be looking out for? Please call it out. These guys don't have search for search on yet because this guy does. Let's turn that back on. So I think we know everything about their. We know where you are because of this. And you're already making a move to try to take it out. Any other considerations before I move forward? Any other thing we need to be on the lookout for is basically what I'm trying to say.
So Peter, can you show the range for SM1? Is it on the map or not?
Yes, I can do that.
Yeah, that's a good idea. The range for the SM1 is
It's 20.
17.5. It's not quite the longest missile range, air-to-air missile on the pin scenario, but it's yeah.
Oh, I already have it on there. I just need to turn it on. That would help.
Ah, okay.
Sorry.
That's right.
Here comes Pac-Man. And okay, so before we get too much further, I wanted to kind of agree judgment-wise as far as turns, because I know there was a lot of questions around how to judge missile time, right? So what I'm thinking, and you can agree or not agree or argue one way or the other, but in order to keep it sane, I feel like we should still plan at the tactical level. So missile time really is only used for determining the interceptions thereof, okay?
Yeah.
Now, what I was going to do because of this, I was going to give basically an automatic turn to bear ruling, unless somehow you're really close. In other words, if we judge the timing to be the fact that you only have like one reaction in small, maybe we'll get a little bit more hair splitting on the ability to turn, right? Like right now, if you're going in this direction, you're going to be okay, more than likely, very much more than likely, right? Because all you got to do is turn like maybe 5-10 degrees at most, right? But if for some reason this was your course towards the southwest, then we might have to determine whether you can move into arc or not to defend yourself with SAMs. All right, so I'm gonna be very lenient on this arcing because of that planning ruling. Does that make sense to everybody? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Okay.
Right.
So in other words, and again, it's gonna be it's gonna be a little gamey, right? But I think it's the only way to keep us sane, right? And not get too worried about detections of when the missile goes active and all that as well. Now, if you go beyond a tactical, then yes, you would start to detect you would have an ES detection of that radar's homing radar, if it's an SARH or other radar homing device. Okay, we'll get there. All right, so let's go. Boom. This guy's coming pretty far down here. Do we want to adjust the waypoints on this one? I think we might want to. Do we want to make this stationary at all? Or pick a point and make it stationary? Or where would we like this particular helo to go?
It's probably not bad hovering off the end of that island there, maybe.
Here? Or
Yeah, just where he is. Yeah.
I think so. So he's fine. He's stopped. But we just need to... Looks like he's still got... We'll say that he's pointing up. Same altitude. Okay. Let's be good. Where are we at? 640. Okay. Any other considerations before we move more? You're getting closer. Let's see. Let's see if anybody's unmasked. What is the ruling on this? I'm going to say it's probably going to be another tactical turn, don't you? This guy's got he's got good... This is how we ruled it before, right? This Helix has a good fire control on, well, just about anybody, right? So if this Helix was to pass information by radio, we had also determined that this Helix does not have data link. Well, it definitely wouldn't directly to the Nanichka, would it? We talked about this. It does not have a compatible data link, right? I think we went through this whole discussion before, and we resolved that it can only do it by radio. So I'm gonna rule that this guy cannot fire until at least another tactical, and then let's talk about whether he would or not. Okay. All right, let's go. Okay, things get interesting here. What is the ruling on this patrol boat? Firing on any of these. First of all, are they within range of the P-120s? I think they are. Are they not? I think so, obviously.
Yeah, you might want to put a P-20 radius or something on it.
Yeah, okay.
And of course, there's being in range, being able to hit.
Yes, exactly. So this is up to 65 nautical miles. We know we're well within range.
Yeah, the rest of these whopping great long range missiles, but without the ability to get accurate targeting data, actually targeting data for them, it's the kind of useless if you're aiming for a fixed target.
I think no matter what, it's a radio transmission of this. It's a radio transmission of this unit's resolution.
Yeah, so it's not.
So it's poor no matter what. It's always going to be poor. Okay, so the question is,
Have
does
they got any air radar on? Because obviously they've got the helo in front of them as well, 500 meters.
these guys do? Wait, this. I'm sorry. Who? Which unit? I'm sorry.
So that top right Soviet group, our middle helicopter, which is in the slot there, yeah.
Yeah, they would have ES detection of that. If they have ES, do these guys have ES?
No, they have nothing.
Okay, these ships.
I was just
probably
wondering
do.
whether the Soviets might have spotted the helicopter and maybe try some anti-air.
Good
Yeah,
question.
Yeah, the storm. Yeah, might want to put the storm and the what's it? The goblet. Not the storm and the OSA radii in there maybe.
And this is the Kara. Yeah. Let's look at that. So there's Storm and the OSA. Storm is 18.9. Let's go ahead and put that on there. I don't know if I spelled that right, but
Yeah, minimum of 3. You need to put the minimum in. Yeah, put the minimum in. I want to see what that looks like.
it's 3.
Your minimum is 3. Your maximum is
18 point.
what? Yeah, 0.9. I'd like to see a minimum one of what the minimum thing looks like. So yeah, the arc circle needs to be sorted. So yeah,
I think that's the default for it, but we'll check that here in a second. Wait a minute. Why is that not showing?
did you select the right one?
It would be because I didn't click
Not
the visible.
Okay. Yeah, so you can see.
Alright.
That looks nice. You can see.
Yeah, let me change the color on that.
The minimum zone, because that's useful as well. Minimum zone to be useful going forward.
No, that sucks. Well, something dark like that. And was that accurate? It was the minimum. That was the minimum.
Yeah, it's 3 to 18. Yeah, it's 3 to 18.9.
You're right.
Yeah,
3 to
because
18.9, and then the OSA's.
Yeah, the older ones have some fairly low close ranges, minimum range, very high minimum ranges. So I was watching a thing on YouTube the other day about the SA2.
Okay.
And some of its limitations and stuff like that. And the way that you have to do a lot of manual plotting and stuff as well. And the way it was visually set up, they're set to a half a lead point, projected lead point aimed towards the projected lead point for the aircraft. And the Americans figured that if you dived, you could put the intercept point under the ground, which is something they eventually corrected. They eventually corrected based on experience in Vietnam, but yes,
for now, I took off the Helix's Osmonaut. We know that they have everybody painted.
Yes.
All right. Anything else? Any other considerations? We hovered this. We're not quite in range. This could get interesting, right?
What about the left-hand group? Have they got air as well? Maybe.
These guys turned it on? No, I didn't turn it on. No.
Okay.
They probably
actually the Carver has 2 launchers, both forward and aft. Just by the way. Not that
Let's take a look at.
You look at the actual Carver stats.
Let's see.
The
Hold on a second.
it's got a forward arc, which is
we know they pick up that unit. So would they turn this? Would they turn another AS on over here? Would they even bother? Unless they were about to. Well, they would if they're gonna fire. So do any of these units have any anti-air?
The Cashins do. Yeah.
It's
an expensive bit of kit, isn't it? They're going to be able to shoot him down with a pellet gun in a minute.
Yeah,
exactly. The Ankara's has one. The Cashin has one. And so does the Nutric has a tiny, it's a close range thing, but that's not much use there. Basically,
Well,
the
let's go ahead and at
Kara
least
and
put
the
that on there. Let's put the Walnut M on there.
yeah, because
So,
both of those have two launchers, one forward, one aft, which is a pretty standard of feature. So the Cashin's one isn't brilliant per se, but
13. Okay, so not quite. But we'll go ahead and assume that their air radar is on as well. It's a safe assumption at this point, knowing that the other unit already has it and detected it.
What's the visual range at this stage? So we're 70%, aren't we? Still visual.
70%, and I can't remember how close we had gauged that. It was almost.
second, hang on.
If anybody could start looking that up in the rules, that would help me considerably. As far as 70% for any of this, and I think we had to get, if I recall correctly, we had to get within. It was like 8, at least 6 or 7 nautical miles, though, right? Because, well, first of all, these guys weren't that high, right? They were at
500, yeah. So
and
really low.
well, these guys were a little bit. Oh, they were 500 as well.
Yeah, they've all been at 500, I think.
Okay. All right. So just something. If anybody can start looking that up, it would help me considerably. As far as
I'm just having a look now.
Yeah, we might as well hold for a moment on that. I feel like it's beyond. It's definitely beyond right now. At this altitude, it's definitely beyond. If I recall, because you had to, I remember this helo had to be like here.
Yeah, he did. But then is the Surdlov in the left-hand group? He's a big sucker, isn't he?
This guy right here is pretty big. Yes.
Really?
But he's medium, I think.
He's only a medium, yeah. So
yeah, that's what I kind of question that.
70%, 34 kiloyards though, which always kills me.
So 34 kiloyards is 16 nautical, right?
Yeah.
So these guys might be within.
What's that? 17 nautical miles, is it?
I think it's just outside of it.
Yeah. And then of course there's the modifiers as well. So which I haven't done yet. So that was the base range.
Right, so we're probably more like.
Yeah. So and then we went to that other table, didn't we? And it was all getting confusing.
I think we have one. More tactical before.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Okay.
Checking.
Yeah.
Before they shoot us out of the sky.
All right. What do we have? Okay, these guys are stationary too. The assumption is that this unit is going to basically be visually observing, and then once it visually observes, it's probably going to a little bit.
A very short and exciting life. Yes.
Oh my god.
Oh, these Sea Kings are doing exactly what they were designed for. Not really, but
seeking out the enemy.
Ah, wow.
For a
Somebody
big
gets the
airplane,
pun award for the day.
Yeah. A big airplane, it has very few sensors on it, doesn't it?
Yes, exactly. You think that the whole darn thing would be built around it.
Yeah.
Or at least with that much space. All right, so I feel like we can go forward one. Anybody disagree? All right, let's take a look at what we ended up with. We are getting within this unit being able to fire on this helo. It would not be able to see and detect appropriately this helo unless it's very high, but it's not. Anyone disagree that this unit would probably fire on this?
Mm-hmm.
It's within its
But
range.
it's only Yeah, it's only to do with the height of the land masses around it and whether
Right.
there's any
These are actually
distortion from
quite. Yeah, these are actually quite high. I think when we
that.
looked, these are like
I suppose it's
1,000
whether
meters.
there's any clutter off that. Certainly, that left-hand middle island. Whether that's going to give him any cover, I don't know. But yeah,
I would think isn't.
maybe not.
Yeah, I think you have to be within 5 nautical miles, at least by the rules, correct, for that to start to take
That's right.
into
Yeah.
effect. So the question then at this point is, do they have visual on any of these? No, but possibly we might need to go ahead and check this, right? But then again, that has no bearing on whether this guy's going to fire a missile at him.
Right.
Okay, so let's kind of go across the board here just to make sure we're not missing anything. This guy doesn't have any other detections. This guy would potentially fire on this task group at this point. The other possibility is that this guy would probably fire on him. I think we do need to look up whether these guys have visual here. Yeah, I think we need to at least just kind of rule. Alright. So before we get into that nitty gritty, is there anything else we need to think about as far as these guys? Those are its. These were the OPS 17 ranges, right, for surface search. So at this time, they only are seeing. Let's go look at.
What's the submarine doing? It's still sitting there waiting.
Correct. Very good.
Maybe just like sort of steaming
I don't know. I think it
Fine.
must have reached its waypoints.
as
Yeah.
flank as it can, basically.
5 knots.
That was its
180,
limit, right? I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not the fastest flank there ever was, but flank nonetheless.
Yeah, I think
I
we.
think I worked out it would take 4 hours for it to go nowhere. But yeah.
Hey, so it is a sub, right?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Again, this is where just a lot going on. I don't want to miss anything. So nothing really here. What is this guy doing? What is the intention of this? They're just gonna sit for visual sake, or would he even start bugging out a little bit now that he knows what's going on here? Do you think this guy might move this way?
I think he's supposed to stay with the sub.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're basically trying to screen it.
Yeah.
But what is your?
Keep the.
You don't have any torpedoes, do you?
No, we have nothing. Nothing. Rude language. That's it.
Really?
Again, unless you plan on use
You
the
have
the
torpedoes.
dripping sonar.
Oh,
as a
those are
wrecking ball.
darn. Those are darn.
Yes. We get
These are
that into the
subsurface,
helix's rotor.
These are subsurface, correct? Mark 44s.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, they're not ship capable. I don't think. Anti-ship.
Speaking of, what does the Helix have as far as? Would they have fired by now? I don't know if we.
I don't know whether it was armed though. Was it when they took it off? I don't know whether it was just on a search and
Well,
so it's actually loaded
the
to bear.
assumption. Yeah, the assumption is that it would use pretty much the standard.
Well, it's not loaded for bear. It doesn't have any air-to-air missiles.
I would think it has.
It has a depth charge. That's all it needs.
I mean, we're shooting down bears. T-95s.
Note to self: always mark initial loadouts.
They'll give it. They can have a. Obviously, if they want a depth charge, let them have it.
I could
Scat.
make.
Give him the scat.
It's Japanese. It doesn't have Japanese don't have nukes.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah. Yeah, for fairly obvious historical reasons.
Well, this is the Russian one.
I look at I thought it was look at the Japanese picture. Yeah, it's yeah. I don't think they were carrying nukes around on a routine basis.
Okay, so here's my.
Might be stored in the what's it in the ships in
Yeah, but they
armory.
wouldn't carry
They're
it
not
on them.
going to stick it a helicopter for just for the lulls.
I don't have a darn. See something. I'm just gonna roll between the two. All right.
On the visibility from the helicopter, we should be automatically detecting things now at 11.25 nautical miles.
Okay, this has a torpedo. All right. I rolled for it. I tried to be.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
But the rule. But let's go back to the scenario though. Their intention was to capture, right? Let's look at that because I don't think they would just blow it out of the water, would they?
Yeah, capture the submarine, failing that, sink it in Soviet territorial waters. Failing that, sink as many Japanese ships as you can.
Yeah, they didn't bomb it as soon as they found it because of that. So,
Okay, so we know that. Okay, so we would. Any submerged can be hostile. Okay, but he's only partially submerged. Okay, large. Okay. Capture the submarine. Failing that, sink it. All right. So what I will. All right. So why don't we do this? Why don't I give it a certain number of tacticals? At which time we're going to decide whether to. Okay, it's 6 tactical turns. All right. Just is that reasonable? There's going to be a certain point of time where they're going to give up and blow it out of the water, right? Potentially.
Yep. Yeah.
Potentially.
There will be. Yes.
Okay. All right. So
I presume as soon as we start firing at them, as in the Japanese start firing at them, they'll think, right, that's it. We'll call it a day. Because at the moment we've done nothing, have we?
Right. So that's a very reasonable way to judge it, right? So if the Soviets feel like they cannot capture it, they'll sink it.
Yeah.
I think that's probably the best way to do it. So we'll just evaluate that each turn, right?
Okay.
I think we might shoot a SAM.
Just on the visibility, we'd have a 10% chance of spotting from the helicopter, spotting the ships at 16 nautical miles. We have a 100% chance of spotting them at 11.25 nautical miles.
Okay, so at best a 10% chance here, which I'll just go ahead and just do here, whatever. Oh, you got it. You spotted them.
Right.
Yay to D20. So you do have a visual. You have a really smudgy visual.
Yeah.
You see something here-ish.
And then it fires at you because it's not happy. It's not happy camper.
Well, this guy won't, but this guy is about to.
And we'd have to go for the, or would we play the visual classification game, which is probably where we'd then be able to say that it's a ship, not whatever it is. So, do you want to roll another D10 just to see what we get?
6.
6 gives us size and type.
All right.
We know.
I would think that's pretty reasonable considering that's the larger one, right? Yeah. Now then, do they get like a
so we can see it's the cruiser and it's a medium ship. Yeah.
And now whether or not do we know that they have escort? You probably think they have.
If they're in range, we'd get a similar chance, wouldn't we? I guess, but if they're out of range, then we wouldn't.
Yeah, I think you get like a. Don't you get like a recently, like an aided visual because of a nearby? Maybe. I think there is a modifier to that. I think because you spotted this, you get to spot anybody within at like a plus certain percent. Here, let's just roll for it, and you definitely see another one. And I would say you probably definitely see all of them. I think there's an adjustment based on previous I think it's
So we
safe.
now have a good idea that
I
there's a
think
task group
you
there.
definitely do. And
Based on a big cruiser.
yes, and that was done from here.
Yes.
And this guy's probably just a little bit further out, I think. And you said the maximum was 16?
16 nautical miles, yeah.
Alright, so there's a little bit beyond that. Okay.
Okay.
Shall we play a game?
Air to air. Sorry,
Yeah.
surface to air. Be a bad day for Naga 2, is it? Yeah.
How many do we want to fire? How many
Nata
do we
2.
have? How many do we have? It was the storm. Yes.
Yeah, so 2 missiles at one target. Yep, fun. Yep. So yep,
I can
six
fire
one
two,
six
but how
five
many do
zero
we
knots.
have?
So, yeah, these are they're fairly potent.
So here's the question. They have a limited number. Would they use?
They've got 20.
Oh.
So, yeah, 20 in each launcher, I think, basically. Or basically.
Oh, you're right. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I read that entirely wrong.
Yeah,
they definitely would use two then.
yeah. That was I think it was a sort of standard Soviet doctrine. I think anyway. You chuck this couple in case one malfunctioned. And also, I think it also means there's more. It also means if you find 3 missiles at one target, you've got it's harder for him to dodge.
You might have the bureaucrats after you, though, because it's only a helicopter, unarmed. You're wasting good Soviet kit, treasure. But carry on.
Yeah, if you fire one missile, miss, and then miss.
Unfortunately, what you haven't factored in is Itchy Ivan, who's very itchy to fire that.
He's been waiting to fire it forever.
Okay, so that's the Itchy Ivan factor. He's about to lay loose.
Salvo of 12.
Yeah, I think what he's limited by his director, right? He can only do.
Yeah, because the firing rate isn't modelled as much. It's modelled as much in
So these are,
this
these
version
as
as
1650.
But yeah, basically looking at a twin arm launcher.
This is the Storm, yeah.
Yeah, the Storm, yes, the SAN.
So two per turn, yeah, per launch sequence, yeah. Okay. 40 overall. That's a decent magazine.
That's 40 split between.
Yeah.
That's 40 split between two of them, I think.
Fore and aft, yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know what its flight path is. What are we thinking? I don't know what it is. We need to maybe look it up. What is it? Low to V high. So that's at least, what's the minimum of low? Off the top of anybody's head. Is it 100?
Low to V, sorry. What's the low to?
What's the minimum of low? 500?
Minimum low is.
That's what I usually rule it as. We just know it's low. All right. So it's gonna be pretty much. This is gonna be. This isn't really a judge and defend. You have no defense, right? Other than your
minimum low is 31 meters.
Yeah, 31 meters. Yep. That's right. Sounds right.
I'll just put it at like 50, just for.
Yeah.
All right. That's usually what I do. So this is just straight air to air, really, right? So this is an ATA 1.0 versus your maneuver rating, etc. And so let's start pulling out the cheat sheets here, just because they're cool. All right. So this is a straight up. This is 8.1. Let's just make sure we do this correctly. If anybody knows everything here off the top of their head, by all means step in, but I'm going to go ahead and look it up.
No.
This is where we need one of those those brilliant cheat sheets.
Yeah, we will, but I don't think this is. There's really no punching on it. We just need to check. Chance to hit, really, right? At this point, subtract the bogey's maneuver rating from the missile's AT and applying a reference from AT. Air missile attack 2188. Let me see something. I mean, again, you're not a surface ship about to try to fire SAMs against it or anything, so it's just straight 8A. All right, but we do need to start bringing in these. Oh boy, my brain is just fried. Let's see, target speed. This is just a straight air-to-air, is it not? Yes, but it's not gun, it's this. So the target speed, he was unfortunately hovering, right?
Hovering.
So it's +2.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just keep
If he doesn't have any radar warning receivers, yeah, so he doesn't get to move.
He has nothing.
So I
He's
think
not
so.
even
I think
maneuvering. So he just gets 1 + 2, which basically brings you there. But does he have any combat system?
No.
He has no ES.
No.
No.
Oh, hang on. Is this?
I'm sorry.
Are you doing
countermeasure. He has no countermeasures here.
What's the missile again?
It's a storm.
Yeah, from thing. No, then yeah, it would just be that.
Wow.
No support from the ship. Everybody nearby can help. Jamming and
you have to calculate the bonus from combat system because there is one because it's firing at a manned aircraft.
I don't think you're in range.
Fair enough.
Anybody disagree with that? Any other anti-air capability? Yeah, I mean it's a good call out because if these guys were here, then they probably would possibly be able to support it. All right, so
Did you factor in the combat system thingy?
you're right. I don't even think it's measured. I would think this is a 2nd gen.
Yeah, so he gets a plus because it's a manned aircraft, so it gets a bonus of things like 1 or something. So.
But unfortunately you use this.
No, so you would you would use the full maneuver rating because they'll see the missile and try to evade.
Right. I'm sorry. You're right. We do need to subtract the maneuver rating of the 2.0, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And that's.
We're lightly loaded, aren't we?
I would think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we do subtract that, so we're back down to 1. We were.
Yeah, because
Here.
let's see that. But then,
we're
so
back
then if
down
you go down,
here.
target, aircraft target, anti-aircraft mod. There's a mod for it.
Yeah, this is where that form comes in handy,
Yeah.
doesn't it?
Oh no, so okay, yes, it's only +0 because it's a 2nd gen, isn't it?
Correct. I think it's
Okay,
only
yeah.
a 2nd gen.
Yeah,
But it's
so then
not.
It's +0.
Yeah, right there.
And then how far is it? What's the distance?
Looks like 18.8 on.
Yeah, so then I think that's like medium, so that's not an issue at all.
I mean, do you want me to pull the cheat sheet out just to be sure we've gotten everything? I can do that real quick.
Yeah,
Maybe
and then then the
purpose,
speed, whatever the speed is of the aircraft.
Alright, so let's just say, is it air to air?
surface to air attack.
We're closing, right?
Yeah, we're closing it.
Medium.
Yeah, you're,
Right
yeah,
here.
you're still medium 1 because you're not within 20.
Missile ETA. We took care of that. We took care of that. It's not. We considered it that, right? Well, we actually gave it its maneuvering, right? We gave it its
Yeah,
maneuvering.
it's evading. It's not. Yeah, it's not going to sit there. It's not going to
We
sit there.
took
next
care
to
of
it,
target
drop down.
size. We took care of the speed, right? Which is
Yeah,
why we
plus
were at
1.
our plus whatever. And then there are no countermeasures, right?
Yes, it doesn't have any.
As a target, look at the target speed modifiers, not the Yeah, target speed. Yes, right. Fine. Yes. Okay. Carry on.
So I think
Yeah,
we're,
okay.
I think we're appropriate
Here we are. Yep.
at here. So
64%.
64% chance of
64.
knocking it out.
Pew pew.
Pew pew. Yeah, I got it.
It's dead.
What's the point of wargaming if you can't make pew pew noises?
All right. So
The pew doesn't really work in the Napoleonic Wars game, though, does it?
Yes, it does. I have decided it so.
all right. So we do need to move another tactical here, though. So because it doesn't, it's a planned firing, right? So it's actually not going to happen until this one.
Hey, does anybody know? Do the ranges in Harpoon represent maximum kinematic range or no escape zones?
I think it's maximum. I think it might be maximum kinematic rather than with no escape really varies depending on your own.
Yeah, on who you're like fighting against. Yeah.
Okay, so that's that. We did not do our surface firing yet. We're in a new turn. Let's just roll with it at that point. They didn't fire yet. Okay, so before we go too much further, any changes for this? They definitely have visual at this point.
I'd suggest they hit the deck and get out of there because they'd have seen their buddy go down, presumably, because he's not that far away.
Yes, they definitely would have had. They would have heard him over the radio going, "Oh shit!
Yeah.
Oh shit!"
Yes. Yes.
And so that's that. So
Well,
would
I'd
these guys
suggest they
maybe
drop-
bug out like?
Drop to low and bug out. Yeah, exactly. What do you think,
Let's put that-
Ken, Grawn? You agree?
Yes, they notice the set, so they have to go more low altitude
Yeah, that's
and
what I did.
avoid missiles.
So let's go ahead.
And
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
They can go even. They can go. Yeah, go to V. Well, they could
You
go.
want me Keep
go
them
to-
like this, maybe.
Yeah. Head back into the
Just kind of
man
maybe
zone.
go
Yeah.
towards their ship, really.
Yeah.
Maybe not totally, but like that. We'll see where we end up. Is that about okay? All right, now these guys gonna stay on point here. It's been only another tactical, so these guys aren't trigger happy yet. At that 6 tactical, we'll just reevaluate it. Okay. I at this point, I wouldn't think they think they're gonna have a problem, right? At least at this point. Any other considerations? Is this guy closer? This is his. He's trying to get here. This is gonna take a little bit. I think this was the right move. Anybody else firing? He can fire. No, he cannot fire here. I believe via the low, he would not be able to fire here. As a matter of fact, he would lose his air radar contact, would he not? Anybody disagree with that? Would this unit be able to see this unit if it's blocked by this island? I don't think so.
Depends how big the island is, but the answer
It's
Yeah,
pretty.
not
These
over
are
the
big.
island.
These are like 1,000 meters,
I lose
at
it.
least
then.
at their highest peak.
yeah,
They're very. It's actually quite an impressive set of islands. All right, so I think he cannot, unless somehow he unmasks again. So that's probably a good idea to keep going that way. As a matter of fact, I'll go ahead and let retroactively. I think he might want to bug out this way, right? Oop. I think he might do keep that island. He knows he knows it came from here. I think he knows enough to get the hell away from there. All right. We can adjust that if you want later. Any other considerations as far as these vessels or units?
Maybe
He's
I think maybe Nataban feels the threat from north side, so he go south and shadowing the Uzushio.
okay. Yes. So he might come, at least start coming this way. Why don't we just, yeah, let's just give him like a real simple waypoint. So like about, why don't we keep him close to the island though? How about like that? Something like that is okay.
Yes, I
Shadow
think
it, but
so.
but he's gonna try to stick to the island so he doesn't get seen too bad. All right. I don't even know what his main thing is. At 120. Even if it's that should be fine. He's just gonna end up there. Any other considerations as far as these task groups turning on? Everything's already on, right?
Yeah, the radars are
So
on.
we don't get any new ones, but we're about to need to check. This is versus medium. We need to keep a good eye on this because we're about to get into detection range. Okay.
Yeah,
Let's try.
they're going to be aware something's been shot down as well, aren't they?
Well, this based on all the radio transmissions and stuff, I would assume that this chopper's gonna try to stay. I don't know if he knows he's in danger at all. But he's not that high either. He's at 1,000. He might want to come down. Well, we had purposely kept him. I can't remember why we put him at 1,000. I think it was to get the Osmonog, ranging. Is 1,000 medium or 1,000 low? I think 1,000 is medium, is it not?
1,000 what?
Meters altitude.
Think so?
No, low goes up to 2,000.
Okay.
Oh,
So
really?
that's not really why we did it then. I would think this guy's probably going to go down to 500 then. So they're both still trying to shadow this. All right. So the Soviets definitely know where it's at. They're making their way towards it. Does it make sense for them to go this way? At least for now, I think. At least for this tactical. Any objection to moving forward? These
No,
guys
they've got intel of where we are anyway, aren't they? So I think they can go
right.
that way.
I don't know. The decision making point for the Soviets here is, do they go for poor or do they go for their own? As a matter of fact, let's start looking at the Soviet surface capability. What is some of their maximum? Let's see, that's incorrect. The Titan is 20. The Nuchka. What are some of the other better? The Caution is a Volga. This is and again, these ships are all small. All the Japanese ships are small, I think.
Yep.
Yeah. So man, it's gonna take forever. I think this is incorrect. The Dawn series is a nav radar. It's not a surface search radar. This one I had corrected. The Nanushka had gone into the Russian annex and corrected because it's wrong as far as the Dawn series and the Mayas. Okay, so it's going to take a little bit, I think, for them to consider turning their radars on. I think. All right, let's just go. Oh, interesting. Alright. Oh, that's cool. Wait a minute, what happened here? In the hell? Well, that's a bug, isn't it? Look at that.
You've not put you're simply playing it in real time or something, or
No, I. The problem is that this makes everything go for a 30. I don't know what the heck it did. It did a whole.
Like it moved it all forward.
Yeah. Okay, hold on. Let me make a. So watch if I do this again. It's gonna go like 3 minutes. That's actually kind of cool, but not really. We saved
Cool,
it.
no quite what you want.
Look at that.
yeah, that's a bug.
Yeah, that actually looks quite cool. But
Like I'm playing like Command,
Yeah,
but
we
the
need
light
to-
version.
Yeah, we need to stop that. Yeah, obviously.
all right, so let's just. Oh, that's just crazy. Let's see what undo does. That pulled us
Yeah,
all the way
that's
back.
649. Yeah, so yeah.
All right, so which one did it? This one did it. Is that right?
Number 3, I think. Was it Nata 3 did it? I think.
Yeah, but that's... Okay, let's just. We can correct this if we want. Maybe it was this one too.
Yeah, that's got it's waypoints in the middle of the what's it? So yeah.
Let's just. All right, so let's just do. Okay. Is that better?
Fine. Yeah. Yeah, that's better. Yeah.
Let's save that as well. 652. Okay, new considerations. New considerations. Should I fire at poor?
Well, we've lost a helicopter. That's a big consideration.
Alright, so at what point, or what is your range on your harpoon? And who's got your harpoon? Let's go take a look at that.
Only Hatsuyuki.
Yes, Harpoon.
And that's your best, I think. Range-wise, right? Otherwise you have Schmers and Sea Sparrow, which you could use for what it normally is probably not used for, but Schmear Block 3. So that surface range is not that bad. The Schmer is 17.5, but the Harpoon is I should have this memorized by now. We've used them so much. Do I not have that on here? Oh, maybe they're just assuming I have the index, which we of course do. But does anybody remember the range of the Harpoon?
65,
like
wasn't it?
60 nautical miles, something like that.
Let's go look. Oh, that's not going to be good. Is it 1C? Let's at least get
Yeah,
that.
it's in the annex for the what's the main it's 65.
Is this the 1C or is it this one?
It's the 1C.
Then it's 75. So 3.
So it says 65 on the. Is that the correct?
Well, I'm gonna go by the. I'll go by the annex.
No, we look with yeah, okay, yeah, so go 75, yeah, okay, yeah.
What year was this one? 88? This scenario? Yeah, I think that's right. No, 85. So, yeah, it's kind of borderline between whether it would be that or not, right? Let's see what the ship had said. Yeah. Okay, so 75. So you're well within range, but you do not have surface until this. Well, here we go. We're to the point where you will see medium. So you have contacts for all 3 of these now, right?
Yeah.
Okay. It's your first turn of tracking, though. We can go through the FC, or we can wait.
How close are we? Because if we're within 1 flight turn, then it
And
doesn't.
which one was it? Hatsuki class. This one. So it's the Shiryuki. .27 nautical.
So they're in range, but the problem is the firing control solution.
Yeah, you only just started it. So do we want to go through that real quick? What the hell? We don't have a lot of time left. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. We could probably use the cheat sheet. Let's start with the cheat sheet first. Well, yeah, just getting the fire control isn't going to cost you anything, so. Do we have? Okay, here it is.
We don't have a surface well, fire control yet. Okay, so we need to work it out. Okay.
We'll do this, and then and I'll do some percentile rolls as to whether the Russians would fire with their poor solution or not. If they see these starting to fly, I think they're going to start unloading on you again. All right, so
Well, yeah. Well,
I
they
think
won't see them. They won't see them if they're pretty close. They're rather small missiles, aren't they?
All right. All right, so are we doing a tactical data link queue? No. Okay, so any distraction decoys, no. Seeker gen of the missile is 3rd gen for Harpoon 1C. Correct. It's terminal. It's TARH.
Yeah, 3rd. Yes. Inertia tactic. Inertia. Yes, it's a 3rd.
So do we have any other considerations as far as TARH is concerned?
Just put it in the right place mainly.
So 3561.
How close to land is it? Because you might have issues with the TAR missile, like.
Not
it's
really.
not going to be. If it's going that
That's not
way, it's not going to be an
intervening.
issue. Yeah, it's not going to be. An
And I
issue
think it's
there,
even
but-
within 5 as well. Yeah, it's close, but it's not behind it. I think you would only have the problem if it was here.
It's not just if they're like it's if at any point the thingy like intersects it.
Oh, that's right here. What thingy intersecting what?
So if at any point the
Missile.
sorry the seeker
the seeker.
intersects with land.
Okay, so then let's
If the
determine
seeker
what
resets from
where
land, you're not going to have missile for much longer.
what is the seeker range? Is it 20? I think it is.
So can you like? I mean, to be fair, it actually doesn't really matter because we
I
have
think
a
I think the seeker will be smart enough to tell the difference between a quite big lump of land and a ship.
No, it doesn't. That's the point. Radars can't, unless you're fourth generation or higher. They cannot tell the difference between land, a big chunk of land, and a ship, because land presents an infinite radar return.
So then would you probably fire on the most?
To be fair, if it's got,
I would
if
think
it,
you would not have a problem with refining at that one. You might have a problem.
yeah,
with
if you have, if you can do waypoints with it anyway, it wouldn't be an issue because you
Right.
can just kind of sort of angle it
Correct.
properly, if that
Yeah,
makes sense.
I think that's a reasonable judgment. Okay, so let's go. So the seeker gen was third, so you get one track increase here. Everybody, can everybody remember this? At least somebody here. Well, actually, you know what? Let's do it here. Long range missiles. No. Right. Combat system generation of the originator. So for the Shirayuki, I think I kept them. Did I keep them down here? No. Kept it in the sitrep itself. Hatsuyuki. Third gen semi-auto. We are active, so we're at 0. So total so far is +1, correct?
Yeah.
Sub, we are transonic, right? Yeah. The range is over 25? Yes, unfortunately, right? So we would get a -1, right? So you're back down to 0. Right, so we were +1 because of the gen. We're down 1 because it's transonic here, and we're beyond 25 nautical miles. You see that right here?
Target speed, does that affect anything? Or
It does not. Hold on, contact speed right here. Yes, active would not unless he's going above 36.
or below, whatever.
Right, correct. What about here? Active, non-OTHT, that would be our issue, right? But we're within this band, right? So we do not have any issues, correct?
Yes.
As far as I can tell, we're back down to 0, right? In which case, at that point, you're at track number, right? Which is 0. So you're fair, but within one round, you'd be good.
Yeah.
Unless something else comes up. Now, would you fire?
I'd wait the round, honestly.
I probably would too, considering you haven't seen it, considering you haven't heard of anything taking off.
To be fair, like at worst, we're gonna get fired on, and that doesn't actually make a difference because by the time the missile gets to where we are, you know what I mean? Like they're firing at us anyway. If they're gonna fire at us, so we might as well just get as good and accurate a shot as possible.
Yeah, we've only got a limited number of missiles. So there's no point wasting them.
These count.
Okay, any other considerations before I click forward?
No, just that.
Okay. I don't think the parameters would change, other than we are probably now not. Wait, it's right here. for either of these, and we had. So we actually get a modifier now. I think we're good no matter what. We're good no matter what, just because of that, right? I think we came within this, right? So we actually popped up one, which automatically makes us good anyway. Does anybody disagree with that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then the question is whether or not these guys would fire as well. And I'm gonna just do a. Honestly, I'm gonna just do it as a 50-50. Okay, they will fire. With
Missiles crossing.
poor. They're still poor because they're always going to be poor and they're only relying on this again. Does anybody disagree with that judgment call?
No.
I mean,
Yeah.
they're to the point where they're like, okay, let's fire. Or
Twitchy Ivan at it again.
or would they at least they would detect the missiles firing?
Yeah,
So I think that's probably
depends on the range. Depends on the range of the miss. The range of the. I don't think they would. They might see it. So maybe depending on visibility.
The air radar on this would pick
It's a
it
V.
up.
It's a V small contact.
Okay, let's go look at that then. So they're who was doing the air? This guy's medium. I'm assuming. Kara class. I think.
Yeah, it's a V. Yeah, it's a V. There's a V small contact.
Right.
If the
But they're the observer's medium, right? So then we look at V small, 18. Well, we do it by height for air. We do it for V small for the air searches capability, right? So then let's look at that. That was this guy. For V small is 49. Definitely would pick it up. He would pick it up by size, but
not necessarily by
But
yeah,
let's
but
look
by
by
horizon.
the
I don't think it
horizon.
pops up above below the Harpoon.
so medium, and he's at V low. So it's 24 by radar line of sight.
Mm-hmm.
So that's beyond it. So we would not pick it up. So I think it's safe to say that we would delay a round, right? I feel like you're gonna get a round on him, a tactical round on him.
Yeah.
All right. So at this point, the missile comes in, and we might have to just hand wave this, unfortunately, because we're kind of bumping up on time from. How many are we firing?
All of them?
Seems logical.
I mean, can we spread them out amongst the ships a little bit? But other than that,
Well, you can aim them in that general. You can try, but there's no guarantee they will lock onto those targets once the seeker goes.
well, no, because
goes
if
live.
we
Yeah, we can try that by all means. Yeah.
if we get the how many missiles are there? Is it like 16 missiles in total?
Let's go look at the ship. Just leave it one for now. So it's a Shiriki. Sorry, I just lost the class. That's Yuki. It has 2 mounts, 4 missiles each, and they only have 4.
That's 8 in total. Yeah, so you got 8
Correct.
from
Yeah, I'm
that.
assuming that. I assume that's what
Yeah,
that
there's
means.
8 in
Yeah.
that one. And what's it? Yeah.
Let's port bow and starboard bow, which basically gives you all the way
Yeah.
up through center. Oh,
Yeah,
it's and it's
so
the
I
ampersand
think-
as well.
yeah.
It's not just either. It's the whole range. So,
So
you definitely have
so
the
it's
arc.
we only have 8 in total, basically.
So I guess 3 at the ship in the middle, 2 on the left, and 2 on the right. 3 on
Well,
the left and 1 2 on the right.
we need to turn so we're facing the right face. Port bow and starboard bow means we need to turn so we're actually pointing towards.
That is true.
We also were told, remember, that the one on the right is the big cruiser, our helo, before he got downed.
Oh, that is true. That is
Yes,
true. Then
so-
maybe 4 on the left and 4 on the right, and then 2 and 2.
We only have 8 missiles. We only have 8 harpoons.
Yeah, exactly. So we might as well just fire them all in one go.
Yeah, but we need to turn so we actually face the direction that we get all the missiles.
2 on each.
Yeah. So, well, yeah.
So I'm saying, since there's like a bigger ship that we identified before and 2 little ones, should we like assign 4 missiles to the big ship and then 2 missiles to each of the little ships?
Yeah, I think that's fine.
We need but we need to change our course first, so we're actually heading.
Oh yeah.
So we're pointing
let's
in the right
do that.
direction, so we can fire all 8 missiles. And if we need, so we're pointing, so we need to be basically pointing forward or whatever. So directly, otherwise we're not pointing directly at the target. We only can fire 4 missiles.
To be fair, the thing is, like, even like a harpoon missile won't sink it, but it's very liable to induce a mission kill.
Quite, yeah.
So, hope.
I think the right-hand ship was what we were told was the cruiser. So 4 on the right, 2 and 2.
Sounds reasonable. Yeah,
I'm very good with that.
Okay, there with that. Ken,
so-
Braun.
Yep.
Yep, happy. Yeah.
Alright, so this is where things get a little crazy. This is where we need to get a little bit granular here. Okay, I'm gonna put this one as the 4. Oop, not 14. Okay. And then the speed is 561. I think I have that in memory at least. Alright, so the course is...
Need to add the details.
Oop, not that far. Okay, so you're doing 4 on this. So this guy is... Oh, come on.
With the waypoints, we can turn the thing around, can't we, in flight? So that's less of an issue. Rather than pointing in the right direction, if we use the waypoints, we can turn it, and we don't need to point the ship at it. We just turn
Don't
it
you have to watch? Yeah, I mean, technically you could get it so that you're not closing, right? Which would actually give you a modifier. You could possibly even wing it like this. Can you get it to a point where you have a waypoint that makes it and give you a bonus?
And again, they're not within 5 nautical miles of the
They are.
island, are they? They are. Hang on, I don't think we can fire a tar missile at them. Let me get it up.
We have to set the activation point. It's an inertial terminal
Now-
activation. We need the fire control solution first, poppers.
Right,
Solution,
which you have
yeah.
good to any of those. You have good.
Okay, so we set an optimal point for the
No, if we have good, we don't need an optimal. It just sort of factored in. This one always gets me. Failure to avoid terrain eliminates the aircraft due to its interaction with the Earth-air interference and its infinite coefficient of friction.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, no, he's
Right.
got me. Alright, hang on. And... radar section.
Do these ones even have waypoints? I'm not sure they do.
Yeah, they do. Oh, the 1Cs, yeah.
The one sees
Yeah,
it.
here it is.
You have up to 3, I think.
Okay. Early tar seekers, generations 1 through to 3, cannot distinguish ships from land which present an infinitely large radar return. Missiles fired at ships within 5 miles of shore or an island will instead lock onto land and explode harmlessly somewhere ashore.
Alright, so I think
So-
I'm gonna...
Seven.
Unless you're a goat that's sitting in the wrong place.
Yeah, then it's not harmless for you, but
So I hate to
that's
say it, but
744. So are all of the ships within 5?
yes.
Yeah, they're all of it. Okay, so no pew pew for us.
Alright.
Okay.
So I hate to say it, but I need to end the session.
Yeah, I think we'll come to it. Yeah, we don't want to get into
That's fine.
missile stuff is complex. So yeah.
Vampire.
All right. So the
That'll
assumption
probably
is
work.
that you're seeing a big old blob on your screen, and you're saying this might not be a great idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are. Yeah, we're close. We're too close to land, so we might have to wait till they're further away.
Does the Harpoon have an alternate homing other than tar? Because it might
No, not that version. No, it's terminal radar seeker. It's
Yeah.
using inertial to get to an activation point, then you turn on the.
be. Yeah, so it's not doing the thing. Alright, fair enough.
So things are getting interesting.
Yeah, because I think we've reached a good place to stop it. So
Yeah,
so,
it
once,
is. But
once the
let's
missile,
just, I don't mind. We can kind of talk about where we're at here. So, so then these guys need to just start. I mean, it's going to be like probably 2 tactical turns. At which point these guys are probably going to fire again. So
Yeah.
things are going to get interesting.
and
There's
so
just
we're gonna assume, I'm assuming we're getting to gun range, which will be even funnier.
yeah, but I think that's at most. Let's go take a look at that. I don't know if we wrote all the kill yards here, or actually I put them in here. All right, so at the largest, Russia's got the 152s. I think the Sverdlov is probably the largest one.
Yeah.
You're talking extreme at 16 nautical miles.
31
Well, these are kill yards though.
kilo yards. Yes. Okay, not
So
nautical
you
miles.
just-
kilo
you
yards.
just
Yeah,
half
so,
them.
so soon they will be in gun range, and then.
How close were they to the islands? Because if they're going to move away from them, then we'll zap
Yeah,
them.
4.7. The farthest
yeah,
one's
they're on their way to
4.7.
be.
Yeah, so let's give them a bit more of a noose and they can hang themselves. No worries.
Yeah. Okay. That seemed that seemed a decent place.
It's getting a bit close, I have to
Let's
say,
see. So what?
Yeah, we may need to get this may turn into a gun battle.
So
Yeah.
this.
We lose that bat. They have a ship with secondaries.
but
This is the one. This is probably the reason why they kept the Shreddovs around for so long. They had that gun capability had some uses. Same.
Comrade Petty Officer's going to be asked for main gun on the Svedlov, and he's going to say, "Are you sure?" It's in storage. Nobody's opened it for a long time. But
Yes.
So the
I'm-
question
I'm-
of the
I'm
day,
just-
the question of the day has been whether Itchy Ivan would have fired his P-120s sooner than now or not. I don't know, but what's interesting is that the target he probably would have chosen is the one that's about to fire. So
Yeah.
I gave him a 50-50 launch, and he's about to launch. So we'll see. So that could get quite interesting because this guy's about to fire. I can't remember how many he's got. 4. No, he's
four
got-
four P-120s. Those things are
Yeah, sorry, go on, sorry.
those things can ruin somebody's day.
and they're quick, and they're much
they're
quicker than the
quick, yeah.
harpoons.
Yeah,
So
the problem the Harpoons are slow coaches.
Yeah, but we're pretty close now too.
it's not affected by that island because those missiles are firing right past it, aren't they? Is it not the nearest island?
It's a target they're
No.
looking for. It's a target. They'll turn their seekers on once they're past the island.
Yeah, and you can
They're-
adjust
they're-
that.
so they're
Does
in
the
it- they're in
P,
it- they're in it- the P120 is actually
or is that a halfway? Will that automatically just do a halfway? Which probably still.
the P120 is terminal activate our homing, so or inertial infrared homing, so they won't turn the seekers on to pass the islands. They've got a good vice control solution.
But they don't. That's the problem. They got
Yeah,
poor.
when they get one.
Yeah,
Um,
well,
or-
that's
they're-
going to
they're-
take
they're-
forever.
Yeah, that's the thing. That at that point they'll be in gun range.
That's kind of
anyway,
why they
so-
were trigger happy and unhappy at the same time because. All right. Well, yeah, we'll think on that. We'll think on it.
Yeah. Anyway, I look forward to a nice bit of gunplay.
Make sure I did this.
I want to see what this Shreddov's guns can do. It's
Yeah, we might find out.
Pew pew.
It might be a pew
like
boom.
bang, bang.
Bang bang.
Like-
Yeah. You got to give him the bang, not the pew. Okay.
it's that 1812
Boom.
overture.
We can even
kind
give
of
it a
guns.
boom. Yeah.
Yes.
All right. This could get interesting. Yeah. So worst case scenario though, it'll probably take out 1 to 2 ships at most, and then you're probably
Yeah.
gonna at least give them some trouble. So this
Yeah.
still could get pretty darn interesting, I think.
Okay.
Now that Ken and Grawn reminded us that Amatsakaze is there to protect everybody, maybe Amatsakaze can do its job and protect everybody. So,
Well, if that's pretty. If they can get within range, right?
Yeah.
So that was from the setup. That was even from the deployment, right? You had no idea where they were when you deployed.
No.
Yeah.
Well, we do now.
Yeah.
As I said, I was thinking 1943, not 1983. So I think we've recovered, which is good.
Yeah, but if we're not, there's if you're not careful, they're going to be joining their ancestors.
Yeah.
All right. On that note, I guess.
Okay, that's brilliant. A brilliant game as always, Peter.
Yeah,
great
Thanks
game.
very
good.
much.
It's fun.
Yeah.
It's always difficult to on the fly remember all these rules, but
It's fine.
but I
I
thought we
think
did
we're all
pretty well.
slowly kind of learning it together.
We're at least allowing ourselves to wing it together.
Yeah.
All right,
Yep.
there you go. All right.
Thanks very much, fellas.
Yeah,
Very
you
much.
too.
Thank you very
Have a
much.
good one.
Catch you later.
Yeah,
Bye.
take it easy,
Bye.
fellas. Cheers.
Thank you.
Thanks, both of you.
Thank you. Bye.